Alright guys, so for this tutorial I'm going to show you how I create my Instagram collages. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to go to inches. So for this one I'm going to, my image is going to have 4 slides on Instagram. So with that being said, I know the height is going to be 5 inches and then I'll just do 5 times 4, which makes it 20, and there's the width there. Alright, so now I have my panoramic image of what everything is going to be as a full image first. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to view and I'm going to go to my new guide and I'm going to select inches. So it's going to create a guide right there at the 5-inch mark. So I'm basically creating the guide lines for each block so I know where each square is going to be for my Instagram post. So I'm going to create the next one. The next one will be at 10 inches. Then the next one will be at 15 inches. Perfect. And then I'm also going to make a guide in the middle just because I like to keep everything proportionate when I do start to layer out my images. So let's create one more. This one's going to be horizontal. And then 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So I'm going to put 2.5 inches. So perfect. So each square right here will be my Instagram blocks. And then the middle is just my guide for when I'm layering my images. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the slice tool. So slice tool is right under the crop. People barely use it. I barely use it until now. Um, so this is going to allow us to cut up the image into multiple documents. So that's the first image number 1 there. Second, third, and fourth. So you see now we have 4 separate images. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to now drag in the images I want to use for my collage. So usually I will put together a collection of images and then I'll go down with my favorites and then I'll just start layering them until it tells the story that I want to tell. So now I'm just doing a drag and drop. Alright, so I'm just going to click enter and I'm just dropping in all of the images. Alright, so now I'm just going to get to layering. Usually I don't really have a specific process. I know that I always want the image to tell a story, so I usually just start playing around with the layout of all the images. This is how I decided to do my collage. So I have everything laid out. So I'm going to remove this middle guide here. So basically this will be my first Instagram square. Then when I slide it, this will be the second one. And this continuing to tell the story. This will be the third one. And then the fourth one. And you see, at no point am I cutting her face or anything like that. Now to export. So one of the challenges or one of the ways that you can export this image is just export it as a panoramic image. Then you can duplicate it 3-4 times, and then you can just go on Instagram and try to figure out the squares. The second way that some people do is they'll just try to crop out each box using the crop tool. Try to crop out each square. And so you'll see a square, and then go to each one, which kind of gets difficult, especially when you see like all these overlaps. You'll have to like create the grid so you know where the top of your frame is and the end of it. But the cool thing with this slice method is that you can actually export them into individual files. Alright, so we're going to go to File, and we're going to do Save for Web. So make sure one of the things you want to make sure that you do is you zoom out. So we're going to go to Fit in View. So you have to make sure that every preset you do goes to all the slices. So right here, we're in the first one now. Click the first one, and we're going to go to JPEG High, and then we're going to go take that to 100. Now when I click the second image, you see it's going to change, so you have to do the same thing. JPEG High, 100, third image, JPEG High, 100, and then the last image. Oh, and then make sure you hit Embed Color Profile. Alright, so everything is checked to JPEG 100. And then we're going to go to Save. And I'm just going to save it to the desktop. So now when I go to my desktop, there's going to be a folder that says Images. And now I have all my images. And perfectly sliced. So when I post them on my Instagram, you can just go and everything's a smooth transition. Awesome. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I can't wait to see the collages that you guys start posting on Instagram.